So I'm back here at the moss and debris shelter. So this will be episode 3. I'm going to get the third wall done today. I haven't been here since, well, I haven't been here through the winter at least anyway, so it's nice to see the thing's still standing. Some moss has been pulled off. I can't imagine, it may have fallen off with the wind, but it's had this little patching up there. I did plan on doing a different technique for each wall, like the roof and the 2 side walls, just to get an idea of what works and what doesn't. The roof was obviously pretty much standard with the logs and then the debris and then the layer of moss. Still don't think it's 100% waterproof. It needs a lot more work, I think. This side I've just lashed some pine branch or spruce branches together, covered it with a few more sticks to give it more support, and then just laid little clumps of moss on. The other side I did mention weaving a frame, so it's a lot more sturdy as a whole wooden frame. But I think that's going to be too much work, and as I've said before, that will mean cutting down some young birch trees, and I'm not prepared to do that. Plus it's not allowed anyway. So I might do something similar to this one, just lash a frame together and then put it down and then up with moss like this, because it seems to be working at least anyway. It's very dry underneath. I'll have a look. I'll show you in there in a little while. So yeah, so today's taking it easy. The foot's not 100% still, so I've come in with the hiking sticks just to take a bit of weight off my legs. But I'm going to try and use them as little as possible today. It's getting better, obviously it's healing and getting stronger. And yeah, just enjoy the day even, and see what happens. I do have with me for dinner Sweden's greatest contribution to the barbecue, the flinter steak. So as it's flinter steak season again now, I've started selling them in the supermarkets. So I bought a very small one. I believe it's only 1 kilo. It's 2.2 pounds. 34 ounces, 36 ounce steak, I guess. That sounds too much. Yeah, maybe. Anyway, that's going to be an awesome dinner, but it will be a challenge to cook because it's big. So I need to kind of probably build a grill for that one. But yeah, should we get on with it?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Come on. Stuck up. Yeah.
Right, this is what I'm planning. We've got a couple of holes already. There, there. That one's very small. Very short indeed. Out a bit maybe? Yeah, that's nicer. Right, okay. So I can cut that down, cut that one down. Maybe use that one as a cross member. Okay, that's a cross member, so more that length. Oh, I've got a measuring stick. Nice. So, okay, build a frame. I'm going to use what nature has provided, and as she's thrown a tree at me, I'm going to cut off these longer limbs and use as the frame. The wall. They're quite sturdy. They're thick enough anyway. I'm trying to keep the side walls as lightweight as possible, so there's less weight pressing down from the top. Hopefully it's working. The other side's still up, so. But anyway, let's get processing. Pine turpentine smell. Kind of spoiled down that one because it's definitely in the way. You ever seen those survival videos where they say they can build a shelter out of spruce boughs? I don't know where they get them from, unless they chop down a living tree. Because they definitely can't do it here. Because these, I mean, you can probably see in the background, I mean, these branches are... You've got to climb a tree a long way. It's like 30, 40 foot. It's like 10 metres, 15 metres maybe. Just to get to one of these. So that's not the most practical of solutions around here. That's why I chose the moss debris, it was a bit easier. And the other one as well is as a long-term shelter, they're useless. Because these things dry, die and fall off. But they do look pretty, don't they? Always swing the axe away from you wherever possible, because the pointy, dangerous bits can do a lot of damage. I know. Even the slightest of boo-boos and you can lose a lot of blood. boring. It's boring to watch. I'm enjoying myself. So yeah, I'll finish delimbing these, move it over to the shelter area maybe, or where I can start building a frame, because I don't have to keep climbing over trees and going backwards and forwards. So yeah, I'll see you in just a moment. Okay. I'm going to test fit them first, see how it works, see which is the best method. I might use this as a vertical still, although it's... see what happens. There. Another stone. Go out to there. I'm worried about making a footpath here, but I'm going to have to cover it over. So anyway. One thing I want to avoid today as well is what happened on the other side, because these branches aren't exactly what you call straight. So when you set them in, they just naturally want to curve inwards, and especially when you put them on a horizontal, like gravity just wants to have them go that way too. So but they started curling inwards, so I have to try and avoid that best I can. Well, these are definitely more than long enough. Nice. Saw them to size. And then I'll lash them together. I'm going to be lashing them with, I've been told this is called bank line. So I'm assuming it's bank line. It's like fencing. Most likely there's just under 100 metres there, and that is a lot smaller than 100 metres of your 550 paracord. And it's strong enough for the job, so there's no point carrying something too big. So, bank line, saw, tie, stick back up. But I might have to, because I'm working around that rock, I might have to tie them up in place. Not fun. Right then, next step. So there we go. Tied up the verticals. I compare that to the other side. As you can see, there's a lot more vertical sticks in there. And light flare. Yay, light flare. There we go. So the other side's better, isn't it? No, worse. There we go. So more vertical sticks just to hold on there. But you can see where the horizontal bent ones have just bent more. So I need to kind of fix that problem, which is why I've got bigger ones here this time. Oh, the sun's moving around. So that's those tied on. Put some horizontals on. And then put some more verticals on top of it. Or maybe a horizontals underneath. Oh, what's the gimbal doing? So yeah, I'll try and solve that problem. Well, it's coming along. I'm kind of show you what I'm doing a bit closer. So, made the frame, tied on a lot of verticals, and obviously there's another stick down the bottom I've tied on, that one I had in there. Laid a few more verticals on, and started filling in the gaps with obviously with some boughs, but I know those needles are going to fall off. It's not going to do anything other than aesthetics at the moment. But at least it's going to give something for the moss to grip onto when it's when I start laying it on from the bottom upwards. But yeah, I'm going to stop for lunch now actually. taking me a lot longer to do this than I was expecting. So, but yeah, 2 or 3 more hours work probably. But that'll be enough. Do not fall over. It's just a regular 1 litre water bottle. I've got 2 of those with me. Where's that? So this little camping stove packs down, then the flat packs into this little bag. And that's just wide enough to fit a standard size Trangia alcohol burner. You can put twigs in there as well, which I think I might have to do tomorrow because I don't have enough alcohol burny stuff for my coffee tomorrow. But we'll see what happens. There might be some coals going, I might have another little fire. My lunch. I'm just going to have some pasta carbonara and those dehydrated pot meals. So the boiling water. There might be some for a drink afterwards. This is just some little camping stove from some Chinese marketplace on the internet. It's allegedly titanium, but I don't have enough experience with titanium to say, oh, definitely. But it's quite bizarre that this weighs the same as the stainless steel version you could have bought. So, go figure. As always, oh, hang on a minute, my foot's starting to hurt. Still healing. Oh, I'm getting old. Anyway, so the question, do I have enough moss to fill this? So we've got that big section, we've got some clumpy bits just there that you can't see behind me. We've got some more lumps, but I'm thinking of putting this big long one that all across the bottom. Or maybe put it up the top. I'm not decided yet. I'm not quite sure. It'll be easier across the bottom. But we've got some protruding sticks up the top, which I'm not too impressed with. That one. I'll have to to saw that maybe. I've already bound that down, so it's not going anywhere. So, okay, I'm going to put this the big chunk across the bottom. If you wish to express an opinion as to if I'm doing it wrong or right, give me a note in the comments. I'd be much appreciated. So I'm no expert at this. I'm read from books for many years, and now I'm giving it a go and putting it into experience and finding out what does work and what doesn't. So, no, that end bit's going to be a bit of a challenge. I might need to find some bark or something, but okay. Enough blithering. Finished! Ta-da! If only. Okay. It's not a bad start, is it? Ooh. The only bit I'm concerned about is that front, but we're in line anyways. Let's have a look from the inside and see what happens. Tripod. See, another clump of moss there. I've collected ooh, sorry. It's looking okay. Oh, some bits at the bottom, obviously. So inside. Okay, so there's clearly some light coming in from the side there. That little bottom bit that I just played with. I've patched up the other side. All the moss had basically just fallen off. I think it come off in the wind. Let's get inside and have a better nose. Okay, so yeah, that's okay. Seem to have. I was using that this log I just chopped off the rounded section so it's more comfortable for my back as a chair, but above it you can see there's a light there and in the corner, and let's just do that bottom bit and we're done. I can start processing firewood and chilling out. It's looking okay, isn't it? That big hole at the front there and where those two big rocks are. Not sure what to do with that one. Have to move the rocks away and build another little frame just to pull it up the front a bit more, maybe. Another time perhaps, or if I get bored later. So let's try and get you all the way around. Ooh. That's a nice clear shot of the two tree stumps. That looks really nice. Well, I like it. I made it, I can like it. closed gap there. Ooh, that was a lot easier this time. That's the view. My phone camera lens does like that lens flare, doesn't it? Does that make it more professional or not? I'm not sure. There we go. It's quite dark from this side. Yes, I've plugged in all those holes, as I said. Rucksack, hiking stick. Oh, that's what the temperature is right now. Okay, 2:40 p.m. Apparently it's... that's better, isn't it? Sorry. 2:38 p.m. and it's 12.6 degrees. It does feel colder in the shade though. So, axe and saw for the next task. Definitely need to do some housekeeping. Because we are full of leaves and duff. Looks like a rock's going to sneak itself in there somehow. Yeah, so clean up that lot. Definitely go with the fireplace as well. Put a few more rocks on. So that's all cleaned up. Or cleaner. I've also had a go at doing the fireplace, so that's now a lot more rocks on there. So I've got a nice big fire reflector there. I'm hoping that is enough wood for the evening. Probably not. It's going to get down to, I think, like 0 degrees tonight, but that's like at 3 o'clock in the morning anyway, so much cleaner in there as well. Took out a few rocks from the front there for the fireplace, and we are 15 degrees, and I don't know if you can read that, but it's 4:23. So yeah, so that's when we've done a couple of hours to do that, and I'm ready to rest. Although I've got one more task to do, and that's work out how on earth I'm going to cook that huge steak on that fire. I know, I failed. On with the kindling. Slightly bigger. Dryer. Right, I should get things going. Very disappointed in myself for not getting the ferro rod going. Right. While that's starting, I'm going to unpack my sleeping bags. Yeah, unpack my sleeping bag. Yeah, that's right. And the rest of my junk. Wait. Little slopers. So, what I've done for my dinner is I've got these 2 long sticks there. I'm going to place across the fire. Make a tall grill, which means the probably thing will take about 2 hours to cook. So, best get started now. Starting to get a bit cloudy. What is it? 5:30. So I've got the fire going. There's the packet for Mr. Flinter Steak. and it didn't come out very well. It ended up splitting in two, but that is it. There's all the fat on there. And the side, there is actually a bone in there somewhere as well. This is it's got a flinter steak. It's made of pork. It's been marinated in garlic and herbs and thin chilies. It's the rump. A pig's ass, basically. So yeah, that's going to take a while to cook, but it'll be nice and smoked. So that'll be awesome. Oh, shelter. Yeah, just starting to unpack. So there's my food bag. That red thing obviously is the first aid kit. 2 little bottles for water. Black bag has got that cooker in it. White bag is the clothing. Obviously the rucksack. There's my ground sheet / picnic blanket. And in the corner out of the way is my sleeping pad. So I've already blown that one up. Best do that now for later. But yeah, it's going to be quite cosy in there. I did spot a little bit of light in the corner behind the rucksack, but you can't see it here. Yeah, it's going to be a nice night. Chopped a few more birch branches. I want to call them twigs, they're so small. But that's my view from the shelter. That flinter steak is smelling very good, and it's hardly cooking. It's starting to drip fat, so it's heating up. It's going to take some time. But the sun's up, so I don't mind waiting. So, yeah, I'm quite happy with today. It's all dictated by what my foot can handle for the duration of standing up and carrying things and moving the bits and pieces around. But yeah, it's gone as far as I can, and all I want to do now is just rest my foot, let it relax and just enjoy the evening. So this is the view from inside. And just relax. Oh. So yeah, so it's going to be a while for that flinter steak to do its thing. I did think about putting it on the coals directly, but that all depends on how hungry I get, I think. So yeah, maybe it's a possibility. Alright, I finished that can already. Apparently I was thirsty. So yeah, I'm just going to relax. Looks like I'm opening another can. Still have about 1.25 litres left. So I'm just taking it slow and easy, obviously because my foot, the healing of my foot is a big factor. I mean, it was a major operation, and I'm on and on and on about it, but it was, yes. I was getting annoyed with the mud that was starting to be scraped up by my feet, so I basically used those the pine boughs just to give myself a little bit of a carpeted area. I've put more logs on the fire. And it's going to be amazing when it's done. I've had a little bit that was hanging off the... Where's that one? The little one. A bit of meat was hanging off, so I cut that off. I thought that was closest. See how that tastes. It wasn't cooked. I was not ready to eat, at least anyway. It was raw in the middle, but my word, did it taste good. Succulent. Yeah, the right word. Succulent. But I'm hungry. So it's now, I don't know, sun's nearly setting, so 7:30 maybe. Yeah, it's just cooking slowly. I've put some more logs on the fire. I actually went and sawed a few more. But that is what it's looking like at the moment. Oh. Pink and juicy. So yeah, I'm finally going to get to eat. We have a guest. Yeah. It's 7:45. Easter Sunday, if you are into that sort of thing. Ooh, it's Easter. Ooh. So yeah, so yeahs, more so yeahs, better than ums, I suppose. I went to bed around 10:30. I managed to salvage some more bigger logs and things, and just had enough fire to keep me going until about 2-3 o'clock maybe. I'd fallen asleep before then, woke up when the fire had started to die out. That's when I needed the woolly hat and the sleeping bag. I woke again, I think when the sun was rising, with the morning bird song, which is like, oh, that's lovely. But when they're crows and what are they called, magpies, it's not nice. What did I do wrong? So yeah, so I laid in the sleeping bag and just stayed there and kept warm for as long as I possibly could. So yeah, I had to get up. So now it's time to at least make a warm drink. The fire bed, that's pretty much all that's left. I did save some sticks and twigs and things in case I wanted to do my hot water with my twig burner with actual twigs instead of the alcohol. I'm still thinking I think I've got just enough alcohol to at least make a hot drink, so I'm gonna, easier and convenient, So I'm going to do that. Pack up while water's boiling. And take a nice walk home. And the skies are blue again. When I woke up it was grey skies and it was a little bit foggy. But it had dropped down to about... I don't really know how cold it got, to be honest. I didn't want to get out this sleeping bag to look at the thermometer. I mean, putting it there, if you can see it, probably not the smartest idea because it was at the entrance of the shelter. So while I was sitting in there, quite warm, I didn't need this extra jacket. I didn't need the hat, but I did have just that fleece jacket on. But it was unzipped a little bit as well, so it was definitely warmer than 9 degrees at the thermometer was saying at the entrance, and the temperature gauge at the top was reading about 5, so it was definitely warmer. Obviously right now it's just reading a unified 4.5. So if I can find it. Alcohol and Trangia. A billy can, or beaver pot, I think I've heard some people call it. Silicone collapsible cup. Obviously the lid, we'll deal with that. Right, do you want to watch me try and make this little twig stove with freezing cold hands that hardly work? I bet you do. That's all flat packed. That's the top bits. Two sides, two shorter sides. I'll kind of go like that. And then you've got 2 base pieces depending on, so you have a fire and then... Okay, so... And it just slots in together. Which sounds like an easy task, because when you're cold and shaking more than normal, it's cool. Right, so see it taking shape. There is a slot halfway up, supposed to be for an alcohol, you can see on the side. So you put the base in, so this sits higher, or the alcohol burner sits higher, but it sits right to the very, very top, and you don't really get a good flame. And if you want to use this pot stand, the pot stands at the top as well, it's not happening. It's always the odd bit. Oh, okay, so far so good. That's all, okay. So there it is. Yeah, so you'd have the plate there and it would sit on the little window where you would feed the sticks. Okay, so put that in the left of the fireplace. Oh, it's still quite warm. Get that flat at least. I'm not going to bother with these this morning. I'm risking it. Pot. Cup. water. Ooh. What's that? Quarter of a litre? Put in a little extra for evaporation, because I do believe that that little cup is 250 millilitres anyway, so there's nothing wrong with a bit more water. Surprised how little I drank. Okay. Ah! Okay. Trangia in there, nice and snug. And get some of that in there. It looks like I might have to resort to some twigs. We'll see what happens. See what happens. Lighter. Put that in there to get it wet. Light the alcohol on there. And light the alcohol in there. You see the flame on that? This is methylated spirits bit. Has like a blue flame and then it goes clear. Right. Oh, my hands are so cold. That's the silicone cup. It's got hot chocolate in there. Ooh, nice sugary start to the day. But my hands are freezing. Freezing! The sun is actually stuck. Oh, excuse me, I'm falling over. Right, it's getting cloudy, so the sun is actually up there somewhere. Or is it there? It's cloudy. It's somewhere between those two. So, thanks for watching. And I shall see you on the next one. Standing here, a bit cold, fluffy arms, demonstration time, hair. Seems a bit off.